said, 4 years ago the store was closing, and I suggested she make a documentary. I gave her a terrible camera. If you see the scenes that are out of focus, that's the camera. And you hear this little click, 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 click. That's the autofocus trying to figure it out. So annoying. Okay, anyway, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about this. We're going to answer some questions. Uncle Fun, do you have anything you want to say?
I'm not dead, I'm still here.
Yes,
Yeah, so I can tell some stories, or we could just start with
can I say
questions.
something really
Laura
fast?
wants to say something.
I just want to make sure everyone knows what he's doing now. He's got a new gift shop at the American Visionary Art Museum in Baltimore, the National Museum for Untrained, Intuit Outsider Artists. So be sure to go visit him there. I've been there 4 times. It's phenomenal. It's definitely, you know, we've got the library card catalog drawers, you know, a lot of the vintage stuff that he had at Uncle Fun, and he travels around the world, has all kinds of art for sale. Yes?
I knew Billy a lot more than you, Uncle Fun. And I say that in a very positive way, Billy Roberts.
Oh, yes.
Who, when you went to Baltimore, he went there. Can you tell us whatever happened to Billy?
He's watching my dog at the moment. Billy and his wife Alicia recently moved from New Mexico to Baltimore, and he fell back onto his old career. He's now a craps dealer at a casino in Baltimore.
Is that
So-
Alicia Herman?
Yes,
Oh,
from the
Who used
Unicorn
to work at Uncle Fun.
and the
Uncle Fun
Hip
too.
Hop Bunny. Yeah, a lot of you probably met her too.
So Uncle Fun caused a marriage there.
It did.
Yeah.
It's caused a lot of things. And I'm really proud of that too. So a lot of my former employees have opened their own stores. They've moved across the country, and things are going pretty well. But thanks, I'll tell him you asked.
Thank you.
And hopefully he's taking care of Archie. Anybody have a question? But when you do come to Baltimore, mention my name, you'll get into the museum for free.
What?
And you'll see how Uncle Fun influenced all my stores. So it still has the old fixtures, so as soon as you go in, you're really comfortable, and it's overstuffed. So you will feel comfortable.
Yeah, and some people think that he they don't know he's there, so it's like somebody stole all of Uncle Fun's stuff. He's like, no, I'm Uncle Fun. I was like, no, it was a store. He's like, yeah, I'm Uncle Fun. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm sorry, you had your hand up.
Yeah, how do you like living in Baltimore?
I do. It's sort of a small Chicago. It's a city of neighborhoods, which I like. It doesn't have a lot of water. It has a little water. We have the harbor, and that's where the museum is. So I'm very comfortable there. And when I moved to Baltimore, I bought a 5-story row house for what you could get a little condo here. And recently sold that. Because my husband, Bill,
There he is.
and I, we had 2 houses when we met, so now we're just in one.
One of the great benefits of visiting Ted Frankel was staying in that house, because it was empty for a while when you were living with your husband. So it's just covered. Like every inch has okay, you know that the shot of him, and there's that amazing Sesame Street thing behind him, right? Like every inch of the house is like that. And there's 5 stories, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I spent a fair amount of my time there just taking photos of everything. It was amazing.
His own museum, yeah.
Yes.
Well, then the question is, what happened to all the art in the building that you sold, in the house that you sold? I mean, did you take it with you, or did it go with the house?
Well, the first thing we did is we had a really big holiday party. And we invited maybe 30, 35 people, and we had dinner, and we had a really festive time. And when people were ready to go, I said, well, we have one more thing. Everybody can take something from the house with them. So you knew they loved what they took, which was a really good thing. So some people took stuff that cost maybe $2, and some people took stuff that was $2,000, but it didn't matter. And then a lot went to museums. And now we have some in the garage and under the bed and in the attic. But we did a nice combination. I'm a stuff guy, as probably most of you people are.
Yes.
given all the incredible stuff you've had in these stores over the years, I would imagine there were times when people would come to you with a palette of something and say, this would be perfect for your store. Were there any examples of things that you just looked at and thought, this is not at all perfect for my store?
Not too many. Because if people were bringing a palette of stuff, they sort of knew my sensibility, and I would make it fit. Nothing went in the store that I didn't like. So if it was sort of on the edge, it would go into our famous garage sales. Yeah.
Well, congratulations on the film. I thought it was a hoot. I laughed
So glad.
and enjoyed the whole thing.
So
Yeah.
much for coming. Thank you for being here. Celebrating.
Were you scared to start making a film? And what did you do before you did this? This is the very first.
Yes, my first film. Yeah, I was terrified. Well, first I got his permission. I wanted to make sure it'd be okay with him before I did it. But yeah, I mean, he's seen me like just not be able to function basically around him and around this film. Yeah, and at first, like, there weren't that many people that wanted to be a part of it. So I just really didn't know what was gonna happen. I thought, well, I'll just put it up on YouTube, you know. This is already more than I ever thought would happen, having all these people here, third show with Uncle Fun. Chicago Filmmakers is fantastic to work with. So generous, so giving, let me do whatever I wanted. So yeah, I was really scared, but I just, you know, again, it was Jake's idea. I never made a film before, but I just had to do something. I didn't know what. You know, I was literally about half, not literally, the years of my life, about half the years of my life, I was going to Uncle Fun. So I wanted to do something to document, to preserve it. I feel like there's another hand here.
Well, I just want to say something
yes.
too. Even when I started my stores, or started the Halstead Market Days, when you start something, it always comes from love. It comes from this position, and nobody can stop you. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but you've done it.
Yeah.
And she's done something really, really wonderful.
Yeah.
And I think because it comes from your heart.
That was palpable.
Yeah.
For sure.
I just want to brag about my wife for a second. Like, I really thought I'd be editing this thing. I really did think, like, oh man, like, she can get the film, but like, how do you learn iMovie? And she just did. One of the great things about having an Apple product, and I don't get any money for saying this, is you can just keep showing up to the store. Seriously, you just go, I don't know how to do this, and they show you how to do this, right? Like, and then you just come back, you come back, you come back.
Free
And she
classes,
did.
and
Yeah.
I would just go and ask questions. They were so nice to me.
Yeah, and so you just kind of gutted it out and figured out editing.
Yeah, it was just, after the camera didn't work very well, we had around the house, the Nikon camera, the rest of the time it was just using an iPad and a Yeti microphone that we have for our podcast. Yes?
Why 2014 did it end? I see retired, I see, why?
Oh.
Yes, you, Uncle Fun. Why did it end?
Why did what end?
The store.
Oh, the store?
The store.
I got offered sort of this opportunity in Baltimore, and for a while I went back and forth. And I think you just know that it's time. And I didn't want to sell my baby, so instead I closed it. And I don't know if you were there the last day, but it was fun, you know, and a lot of customers came, and it was a really good time for me. And now I've moved on to a really good time too. And you come to Baltimore and you'll see.
Yeah.
Question.
I was going to add my approval for the film. I loved hearing your story, but I wanted to tell you, Laura, that what added to it for me and like gave it something really charming is when you were asking questions of Ted and kind of cooing delightfully at his responses, and I loved hearing that. It just added another interesting element. So your love came across.
Thanks. I couldn't edit anything. I couldn't. Some people thought it was annoying, you know, so I was like, well, it's there. I must do that again. And that's just part of iMovie. Just thank you for liking it.
You're welcome.
I know it's not for everybody. Thank you.
Have you seen the Hot Dog movie?
No, I've heard about it. I went there. I will.
They should be shown together because there's fabulous parallels between the two, and they're both really entertaining.
And they both ended in 2014.
Wow.
End
I
of
went
an era
there.
of movies. Great.
Thank
Do you have a question?
What was your favorite item at your shop?
My customers.
Very safe answer.
That's a good answer.
Oh, can we have this be the last question?
Yes.
Obviously, this project was spurred by your passion and your love. I think all of us shared for the store and for Uncle Fun, how it touched our lives. Are you gonna continue to make documentaries or tell stories, and what could possibly be second tier?
Yeah, I know. Well, I did start making another documentary about fairy festivals. So, but yeah, I don't know anything that is.
Mention the podcast.
Oh my God. Yeah. We have a podcast called Are You Famous Yet? And we interviewed him simultaneously while filming it for the
Oh yeah,
documentary.
that full interview that you
Yeah.
see with the great Sesame Street behind him, that's like an hour-long interview, one of our episodes. We just took the audio and put that up. So if you want to know the rest of that, it's out there.
Thank you.
Are you famous?
Are you famous yet?
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming. I'm glad you stuck around for the surprise. We appreciate you buying the ticket because we know that it didn't include Uncle Fun, but see, you buy a ticket and you never know. And so we do have another show at 2, so we have to get this room cleared out by 1, and people already start coming. So if you could leave as quickly as you can, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.